Uh-huh. Berliner? Berliner, where are you? There she is.
It's a fine day with you around.
Oh, thank you. Well. I need your help.
Lead the way.
Oh, wonderful. I've missed you. It's been a while, I realize.
I'm right behind you.
Okay. And let's trade.
I'm a mage, not a pawnbroker, you know.
Ah, hilarious. I honestly didn't miss that. That's for sure. Look at all these things that you have of mine that I forgot to take back before I sent you away. Incredible. I'm sure there are better armors in there, but apparently you're not going to wear them, which is fine. If I can find you better robes or armor between here and our destination, then that'll be good. But let's go speak to the Greybeards at the throat of the world, see what they have to say. No, I know this place is called High Hrothgar. Brilliant. I know it is. Throat of the world is a little higher up, I realize. I was just slightly confused. You look much more prepared for battle now that you've changed into the glass armor. Should be a wonderful time.
Alduin? We heard the Dragonren shout from here. You defeated him?
Ha 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 ha. Not quite. He escaped. And I must find his portal to Sovngarde.
I feared as much.
That's right.
I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle.
We almost did it in, but not quite. I need your help.
We are not warriors.
That's obvious.
What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the Way of the Voice.
Well, overlook it for yourself then. I'll worry about capturing the dragon. I need your help to stop the war.
You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs.
So you're pretty much just up here to yell at each other and be by yourselves? I understand that, to a certain extent, but if you have no influence whatsoever on anything that goes on, aren't you a bit useless? Jarl Balgruuf won't help me while the war rages.
I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help.
That's right. Both sides respect the Greybeards. They will listen.
Patron has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the Greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems.
So it seems.
So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us.
Perfect. Where has Alduin gone?
The old tales say that he can travel into Sovngarde to devour the souls of the dead. You must find out how he does this before he regains his strength and returns.
Curious. Are you ready for the Peace Council?
Deliver the message to the warring parties. If they will listen, I will do what I can to bring them to terms.
Fantastic.
Wind, guide you.
Wind. I have the favor of almost every Daedric prince in existence. You want the wind to guide me. Well, Braylon, no matter what you've heard, I think that General Tullius will still speak to me. I don't know who killed his son.
If you need anything, come see me. I'm as resourceful as I am discreet.
Who are you? I don't even know who you are.
My favorite drinking buddy. Let's get some meat.
Maybe we will.
I'd travel more, but who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days?
No one. No one does. I promise you that. There was someone here I needed to speak to. While I'm in town, I may as well get everything done that needs to be done. I mean, speaking of doing things. Just, having a little look around, you know? Little peek at his wares, that's all. I'm sure he doesn't mind, Berliner. Make no mention of this. He promised me these things for a favor that I did for him. I'm only sneaking as to be courteous while he's asleep, you see. He said I could come in at any time and take these things as my reward for the service I've provided him. It's perfectly fine. No one shall be the wiser. You know, I feel like I went to jail one time without retrieving the goodies that the guards stole from me. So perhaps one of these days I shall have to find out where that was and retrieve those things. Let's be a bit quiet over here. Not sure how astute this one is. You know what I mean, Berlin? Perhaps we shall test how attentive he is. No. Never mind. Never mind, Berliner. Let's go around. Speak to the man we are meant to be speaking to. Oh. Black arts on trial. Very interesting. I could have spent a bit more time focused on illusion. Is that you or him? You sleep in here? Or are you also dying? Perhaps you've caught some hideous sickness from your master. Incredible. Cabbages, potatoes, baskets. No thanks. Nothing else here of much value, I would say. Alright then, you.
My master can be a bit short-tempered, but I've learned so much from him.
I apparently received a letter from you.
Good to hear. You can be a difficult man to find. Thankfully, those couriers are tenacious.
That's right. You think you know how to repair it, then?
I have some thoughts. There are 3 crucial elements.
I see.
Some may be easier to find than others.
Well?
On the top of the throat of the world is a patch of unmelting snow.
I was just
No
there.
heat can touch it.
Okay.
Then we need the tusk of a mammoth, ground to a fine powder as only the giants know how.
I see.
The final step is tricky. It requires the briar heart from a forsworn of the Reach.
Oh, I have one.
If you can bring me these materials, the file can again be made whole.
Okay. I believe I have a briar heart somewhere. Maybe it's in storage? Maybe Braylin is
The final
carrying
tempering
it?
of the file was performed with a type of old magic that's been lost since the Dragon War. The nearest modern incarnation of it is the strange rituals practiced by the Forsworn. With the heart of one of their briar warriors, I can lock the file's magic into its physical form. It's difficult to explain to the layman. Forgive me if I begin waxing alchemic.
Well, I know very little about alchemy, so I appreciate you, yeah, I appreciate
On
that.
top of the throat of the world is a patch of snow that's never melted.
Okay.
They say the Greybeards taught it to ignore the sun, and the heat simply washes
Well, the
over it.
Greybeards aren't as
The
magical
original
as all
file
that.
was made from this snow.
Okay.
We'll only need a small bit for the repairs.
And the tusk powder?
The ivory produced by those beasts is as hard as iron, but the giants have found ways to make it yield.
Well, they are
They're
gigantic.
able to grind it down so fine that it can be infused into the lattice of packed snow. The finished material has the delicate nature of fresh powder snow, but the strength of the hardest steel.
Sounds fantastical.
Until next time.
We'll try it, though. We'll see how it goes. I imagine the giants will probably have this powder on them. Would you agree, Berliner? Fairly likely, one would think. Do you have a briar heart on you?
Still here. I'm a mage, not a pawnbroker, you know.
No. I would think if you did, it would be here. A Daedra heart you have. But yes, I don't believe a briar heart. Would it be in ingredients? Because if it is, I have 4 of them on me. Never mind.
You lead. I'll follow.
Fine, let's go. Since we are already in town, I'm not going gallivanting around to find the ingredients for his little magical file. Oh, that's right.
Spare a coin for a poor old woman.
No, you might be the murderer. I don't think they were ever found. I could be wrong. I did not dedicate any of my efforts, hardly, to discovering who the killer was. I could be wrong, though. I might have figured it out, and it was just, so inconsequential, I've forgotten.
Tell me again why we're wasting time and dwindling resources chasing a legend. We don't even know it exists.
The Jarls are upset. They don't all support you.
Damn the Jarls.
They demand the moot.
And damn the moot! We should risk letting those milk drinkers put Toryg's woman on the throne? She'll hand Skyrim over to the elves on a silver plate.
All the more reason, then. The crown would legitimize your claim.
A crown doesn't make a king.
Depends on who you ask.
But this one,
If it even exists.
it exists. And it will be the symbol of the righteousness of our cause. Think about it. The jagged crown. It heralds back to a time before Jarls and moots. Back to the time when the king was a king because his enemies fell before him, and his people rose because they loved him. Skyrim needs that king. You will be that king, Ulfric. You must be.
You're certain you found it?
When have I ever been false with you?
Fine. I'll send the Unblooded here with you. Fancy a crawl through a moldering dungeon to see if you can't stir up Dalmar's jagged crown.
It will be there. You'll see.
You're talking to me before I've even come in there. I thought I was being sneaky. Who are you?
The Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
Okay, I've heard about these murders.
These are difficult times indeed, when men stalk their brethren like beasts.
Well,
My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept. The guards will be told to assist you as necessary.
Oh.
I'm happy to lend a hand as much as I can as well.
So I didn't solve it yet. Okay.
I do the cooking
I'm
and
not
cleaning
much of a
around the
strategist, but Lord Ulfric listens to my counsel all the same.
Well, what can you tell me about this place then?
Grew up here. Cold as at Mora, but that just grows the beard thicker.
Huh.
Lot of history in these walls. We're trying to make some more. It's a lucky time to be alive.
Well, it's a very optimistic way to look at things. What do you do?
For Ulfric? Well, nothing official. Known him for years. He seems to value my thoughts, and I'm grateful for that.
Ah.
I don't really have a mind for war, and I think he likes having an untrained opinion from time to time.
Yes. Does help to have an outside perspective on things.
Travel safely. It's dangerous out
It is, indeed. Yeah. Well, wasn't there someone else here just yelling at me? About who I am or something? Cake and the diamond. Well, I wouldn't want to bite into that one. A bit painful, I imagine. Alright, Ulfric. What's this about your gnarled headpiece or whatever it was?
You're alive.
That's right.
I owe Ulfric a drink. I have to admit.
I feel like that's
I
not
didn't
the
think
first
we'd
time
be
I've
seeing
heard
you
that.
Again. I misjudged you. You're definitely Stormcloak material.
I have no interest in such
It's
things.
time we made this official. You ready to take the oath?
Nope. You sent me out there to die?
Not at all. That was as much a test of your abilities as it was your resolve.
I see.
I wasn't sure your heart was in it, but you've proven me wrong, and I respect that.
Well,
Now,
it was a
if
fool's
you're done
errand.
being sentimental, it's time for you to take the oath.
Look. What oath?
Before you're one of us, you must swear fealty to Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak.
Nope.
Don't take too long figuring it
Sorry.
out. Might mistake it.
Swear no oath to no king. Or crown or whatever. Listen, Ulfric. It's time to wake up.
Hey, you're the one who killed Elaine Dufont up in Ralbethar. Oh yeah, word about that got around. Man was a piece of bandit trash, is what I hear.
Well, if that's your opinion of him and you're not arresting me for it, then good. Hello, wake up.
Damn Tullius. He's pocketed men in the rift.
Okay.
It's dangerous having Imperials skulking about on the southern border of Eastmarch.
Is that right? I have a message from the Greybeards. Wait. I haven't asked him about any of this? How'd you become the Jarl of Eastmarch?
My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident.
I see.
I, his only son, forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus meat for his subjects. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning, at one with my own grief and anger, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor.
Okay, why did you kill the High King? I can imagine the answer, but...
I killed Torek to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself?
Good point. Well, I'm not really up for murder, especially because it creates situations that aren't ideal. So what of his widow then? Is she the queen now?
Indeed, Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by Imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it.
Okay, so you desire to be High King?
There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been handpicked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to Imperial corn.
What's wrong with drinking milk?
It's time we had a real High King. One of our own making.
Okay. Why are you fighting this then?
We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us.
Well, the Jarls aren't blind to their people's suffering if they believe that keeping their allegiance to the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion will keep their people alive. If Skyrim becomes independent, then they are definitely going to be subject to more wars of subjugation by the Dominion and the Empire, which means more people will die, even after you've gained your independence. It's an age-old story. I don't know if you realize this. At Helgen, they said you shouted the king to death?
Not entirely true, though not entirely false either.
Okay.
Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torek to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
Well, how's that war going for you, by the way?
Damn Tullius. He's pocketed men in the rift. It's dangerous having Imperials skulking about on the southern border of Eastmarch.
Yes, you said this to me at the opening of this conversation. I have a message from the Greybeards.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding
Glad
homeland.
we see them the same.
What do they want?
They want to negotiate a truce till the dragon menace is dealt with.
I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course. And the dragon attacks are a growing plague.
That's right.
But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King.
Okay.
I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there.
Well, I'm going to talk to Tullius, so... Alduin has returned. I'll try to persuade him that politics are the worst.
Alduin, the world eater of song and
That's
legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't
I
it?
would hope so.
Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat.
So you'll come?
Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
Fine. I was an easy man to persuade, that's for sure. Just go right back to sleep. There's nothing to see. Be surprised if there are any interesting books here. Have I already robbed him? I feel like I must have. There is yet a bit to be robbed, though. Oh, come on now. Perfect. 18 glorious gold. Alright, Braylina, let's go talk to Tullius then. Let him know of the nature of this horrible thing that's happening. Braylina? Never around when I need you.
I don't know how you convinced Nukrik to talk to the Empire. Worse than a waste of time, if you ask me.
Still crowding me? Talk to the Empire. Ugh. Didn't I already ask this man for help on the killings? I'm not sure if this is worth my time, but...
The Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
Do you have any leads?
The Jarl has put out a bounty on the dragon that's been terrorizing the countryside. Here, take a look at this decree for details.
I was talking about the murders. Not,
Travel safely. It's dangerous out
Fine.
there.
I'm not doing this, though. I'll have you know. There's a far more important dragon that needs to be gotten rid of. No time for your petty nonsense. Yeah, Braylina, we have traveled a long way.
My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? Guard duty.
Well, pretend like you're guarding the city against dragons. And then, ta-da, you're also fighting dragons. Amazing, right? I'm so clever. Let's take a peek. We saw this grisly feature earlier. What happened to the body?
You're that one from the college. Heard about
Well, good.
it. Staying safe, I hope?
Yes, I have permission to aid in the investigation.
All right, then. I noticed a trail of blood leading away from
Well,
you.
good.
Helgud's taken the body into the Hall of the Dead to prepare for burial. She's a little crazy, but if she knows anything, it's dead bodies.
Perfect. Exactly the sort of woman I need to speak to. Don't get any ideas, Braylina. Where's all of the dead again? Right here? Right here. We'll try to make this quick, Braylina. I know it's an investigation into murder. Don't want to make any undue accusations against any innocents, but I also don't have time to be messing around with what should be guard duty. Hello?
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
Okay. Is that strange?
Well, she's
That's
dead.
good.
But
I mean,
guess that's not
that's
unusual. At
important.
least not for somebody in
Okay.
here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is.
Okay.
Sorry. Was only joking.
Oh, ha 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 ha. The body?
Oh, yes, right, of course. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with, well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course.
Well, there's only about 1,000 barrows full of ancient embalming tools, so I'm sure anybody could walk in and grab one if they wished, so long as they don't mind fighting Draugr. Did you have anything to do with this?
I'm too busy tending to the dead to spend my time making more.
Well, it is your job.
And I wouldn't very well tell you about the cuts if I had made them, now would I?
You get paid by the body?
I really got to get back to the body. A lot of work to prepare her for the grave.
You're deflecting my question.
Large diagonal cut from left shoulder.
That's right. And that's all you have to say now?
Large diagonal
well,
cut
I have my
from
primary
left shoulder.
suspect, Braylina. I'll let you know. Nothing. Yes. See, she claims that she doesn't want any more dead in here, or that she's too busy to make more. Why is she so busy, hmm? And like I say, if she gets paid by the body, it's perfect motivation for her to create more bodies for embalming. Imagine. A morgue. A mortuarian. What are they called? The word escapes me. But anyways, a murderous one. Imagine. Mortician. Mortician is the word I was thinking of. I'll have you know. Right, so how am I supposed to inspect this place then?
Got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn, and I just don't know it.
Maybe you're the murderer, and you just don't know it yet. Look, what else do you know about this thing?
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit.
Okay. He said that there was a blood trail leading away, did he not? Was it this way? Which way was it? There's some blood there and here, but that leads kind of towards the Hall of the Dead. There's blood. Aha. He did mean this way. Perhaps up these stairs then. Berliner, excuse me. Investigating a murder. Stairs seem clean. Has that spot been rubbed off? Maybe not. Oh, no, more blood this way. Not seeing any. Ah, up this hill. Here. This doorway. Get access to Hiram. Hello, guard. Hello, guard.
Don't think you can barter with me like I'm one of those stamped shop.
I need to get into Hiram.
Frigga Shattershield's
That's
old
right.
place. It's been abandoned ever since
Oh
she was
no.
killed.
Who killed
I
her?
think her mother, Tova, has the key.
Okay, I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose she's around here somewhere. Let's try and find her. Maybe back this way. I've already forgotten the name that he said. Was it Jorah? Brillina? Seems not to be.
You know about
She's
Talos?
sleeping a bit
He
oddly.
founded the Empire.
No.
Blessings of Arcade be upon
Oh, thank you. There's nothing I need to speak to you about those, sorry. Sorry to have bothered you. Don't worry about anything. Just sleep well. Okay. Not who I need to speak to then, apparently. Maybe I'll just break in. It's only a master lock. It can't be that difficult. Abandoned, he thinks. He's clear a blood trail all the way up to the door. Yet he believes that no one has been in there. Fools. These guards are so incompetent. Like all guards. Like all officers of the law. Every one. Oh no. Or up. Oh, too far down. Touchy, this one. Let's no master lock for nothing. Ha!